Google announcing a major update to its smart home systems, bringing its Gemini AI straight to consumers in its Nest and smart speaker devices. Mackenzie Sagalas has more in today's Tech Check. Hey, Mac.
Hey, Mel. So Google is giving its entire home product suite a refresh, baking its generative AI tech into cameras, doorbells, and smart speakers. But the real story here is what that unlocks. This is a low-stakes testing ground for what AI-native hardware could look like. And the home is ideal. Devices are plugged in and always connected, meaning no battery constraints or the need to be mobile. And with a growing belief that the next major hardware leap could be screenless, where you talk, not tap, these home speakers suddenly matter again. Apple, Amazon, even Google were early to voice assistants, but didn't evolve at the same pace as generative AI. Now they are racing to retrofit what they already have, bolting large language models onto existing devices in a bid to stay relevant. D.A. Davidson's Gil Loria told me part of Google's edge is its end-to-end AI ecosystem, from its own models and cloud to tight integration with Android and Chrome. And today's home announcement shows Google's larger push to layer AI across its stack, turning voice into a deeper form of ecosystem lock-in. And that's part of why the street is buying in. Alphabet just posted its best quarterly stock performance in 20 years, as investors bet that Gemini is not just caught up to rivals, but come into the lead. Guys?
How should we look at this, Mac? I mean, hardware is, negligible in the scheme of Alphabet's business. So is this sort of like a loss leader to further lock people into using Gemini?
It's absolutely part of the play here is ecosystem lock-in, but it's also just trying to get Gemini out into its wider product suite. We saw that Chrome integration a week ago, and now they're looking to get it not just into their phones, but also into the suite of home products. And it's a way to see whether that voice interaction really works. I mean, over at OpenAI, which is among their biggest rivals on the frontier model competition, they have been working on a hardware device. They brought Johnny Ive in-house, former Apple executive, to design a form of consumer device for Gen AI that we haven't seen before, and there's been a lot of talk that would be screenless.
Mac, trying to figure out or imagine how the Gen AI-empowered voice assistant is going to differ in terms of how a user experiences it. Is it just going to predict more things for you, or is it going to be, I guess, maybe more accurate and smarter in how it executes what you ask for?
So that's why this market really stalled out in the last 10 years, because people weren't using these voice assistants to do more than set an alarm, set a timer, or ask for the weather. And even with Alexa Plus, I was talking to Gil Loria about this. He said it's a very marginal improvement, and this is supposed to be the big Gen AI upgrade. And we've seen a very limited release with Alexa Plus at this point. But to your larger question, what is this meant to unlock? Specifically with the Google Home features, they've talked about a scenario where your Nest cameras are able to kind of give you optics into your home. So you ask a question like, why is there broken glass on the ground? And it's automatically going, looking at the footage, understanding what you mean, and then explaining the context of what you missed while you're gone. So it's really meant to be this whole home ecosystem that feeds on different inputs, whether that's sound, whether that's video, and is able to give you a thoughtful answer.
Yeah, or, actually, tell you whether the kid's telling the truth as to who broke the thing.
I want it to go and then have the window fixed, arrange for it to be fixed. I mean, that would be the holy grail when it comes to these home systems, right?
Well, and that's the other piece of this. It's such a good point, Mel.
Right.
E-commerce, like basically wanting to make the shopping experience baked into a voice assistant at home. And that's something that we're seeing Amazon and Google push on.
Mac, thanks. Mackenzie Sagalas.